switched the doors, Gabe. So before we used to enter there.
Oh, they told me that door's not working.
That's the wall, and it aggravates them to no end if we don't use the door.
It's an
Because everybody would walk
It's
through
an
there.
ongoing joke. We always try to. So Manny's got chairs. So we can't do it. They hate it. I don't know why.
The door.
They're scared of Manny on this issue. I love it.
Yeah, he's our director of Parks and Recreation and MSC and many.
And protector of the wall.
Protection of the wall.
So, we are streaming live and I will start recording.
Thank you, Shelly. Okay, welcome everybody. I will call our Citizens Association of Santa Clara County Executive Committee meeting to order on October 30th at 5:09 p.m. Thank you all for being here. Hi, Jenny. Nice to see you on Zoom. And with that, Shelly, can you please call the roll?
Sure. Lisa Flagger. Here. Larry Klein.
Present.
Tina Walia.
Present.
Hung Wei. Not here. Margaret Abekoga. Not here. We have three, so we have to mark.
Thank you. Any public comment on non-agendized items, either online or in the room?
Nothing online.
And let's move to the agenda, the consent agenda being the first item, or minutes from September 27th. Any questions, comments? Not a look for a motion.
Move to approve consent calendar.
I will second.
Motion to approve the consent calendar as presented by Klein, second by Flagger. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. President's update, I just have one thing to share, and I don't know if Tina is familiar with this. So for the past 2 years, the Citizens Association and the San Mateo County equivalent of the Citizens Association have co-sponsored the CASCC annual legislative update or legislators address. I can't remember what they call it. Last year was at HP. Right.
Yeah.
So we've been co-sponsoring it. It's never an item that we take to the board for approval. We've just been co-sponsors because really it's a name. And so that's being scheduled. So we had our new Cal Cities Executive Committee sworn in at the Cal Cities Conference, which we all attended. Well, and so we had our new board sworn in. I'm no longer on the Peninsula Division Board. I'm still on the Cal Cities Board, but I'm no longer a Peninsula Division Board member. We have San Mateo being president this year, Eddie Flores, and then vice president is Sergio Lopez. So I know, so he's taking the reins at PTA as president or chair, and then now he's going to be vice president. Because as you know, with Cal Cities, we alternate San Mateo, Santa Clara, San Mateo, Santa Clara. And so they're up this year to be president, and that's going to be Eddie. And he is planning to do this legislators address on January 24th. I think it's at Life Sciences. It's the same place they had it 2 years ago, because again, the president gets to host it in his or her county. And so he's hosting it in San Mateo County as he's allowed to. And I think it's the same place. I think it's Life Sciences. I can't remember the full name. So I will be announcing this at our board meeting, just so everybody knows that we're co-sponsoring it again. To date, it has only been in name only. They haven't asked for any financial contribution, but we want our members to attend because it's actually well attended by Sacramento representatives. It's the kickoff of the ledge year, and it's a fun event. Any questions, comments?
A quick comment. So, thank you. I was there at the Cal Cities conference a couple of weeks ago, and in the morning breakfast, it was announced. And I was there last year at HP. So my one comment is, just as earlier this year in January, those who had gone for the mayors, Cal Cities mayors and new council members.
They had to rush back. It was Monterey, wasn't it?
Yeah, we came
Yeah,
back
I
from
remember.
Monterey and we barely got in, hadn't had time to catch up with emails, and we drove to HP going to San Mateo.
I do remember
Maybe a bigger
that.
challenge if anyone is doing that. Just an
We should check. So
I think same day.
it's the same weekend?
I think so.
Okay. And I have no control.
Just an FYI. Yeah, we observed it.
It's what?
The CalCity's, new mayors and, council members.
Do you have it, Gary?
Academy. Thank
So
you,
it's
Larry.
January 24th for the Cal Cities, is it the
Lovely. They don't know yet. It's either the 22nd to the 24th or the 29th through the 31st
Yeah.
in Garden Grove.
Maybe they do know it's the 29th, and that's why Eddie sent us a text saying it's gonna be the 24th. Let me send him back a
That's from the
text.
Cal City's website, right?
Where is Garden Grove?
Southern California.
Yeah, so aren't they having two separate ones?
But it says or, not and. Which is odd.
Oh, wait, oh, hang on.
Let me text
No,
him.
1 second. Save the date for the next academy is January 22nd to the 24th at the Sheridan Grand in Sacramento. And 29th to 31st at Garden Grove, so they're out doing
There's
it too.
and.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Okay.
So the dates are the same.
So the 24th.
Yeah.
Same thing, same
So
problem.
those people will
Wonder
be,
why
yeah. Because last year was a rush and that was only HP right here.
Mhm.
Moving further up to San Mateo,
Good point.
I just assumed, because
And
I
it's from
observed that.
Sacramento, so different direction, but still rushing back from Sacramento to San Mateo.
Yeah.
County. So I just got the text today from Eddie. I don't know how flexible they are on the day, because I'm sure he checked with his staff,
Mhm.
life sciences, before he arrived at this date. But I will
Yeah.
say, Eddie, remember, thanks for the, as always, thanks for the reminder, because we all remember that group coming from Monterey last year, heading straight to HP.
Yeah, we actually came home, spent an hour
Oh, you did?
literally.
Right.
And then.
Oh, well, on your way, because you're in Saratoga.
Yeah, so we stopped home, Jan and I were to come together, I couldn't coordinate even that much, I'm like, just go.
Right.
Because that 1 hour was too tight to coordinate with each other.
I
We
will
drove up independently.
I will give this feedback. I don't know how flexible they are on changing the date. But yeah, they need to be reminded.
Yeah, because the observation was both are CalCities events. That is CalCities and this is CalCities Peninsula Division. That was what half of us who showed up at HP were talking about. I'm talking Los Altos Hills folks.
And I remember the group coming in saying they
Yeah.
were at the Monterey.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, that's it for my president's update, because any public comment?
No.
Okay. Because the next item we're gonna discuss is the holiday party update. So they can do Sunday, December 8th. They can also do a reduce, so have you been to State Street Market? Are you both from, I know Charlie, Gabe and I are. You've been to, did you go to Murdoch?
Hmm?
Did you go to Murdoch? No.
No.
Okay, cause I texted you.
I know.
Oh, okay.
But by the time you got around to texting me, I'd already.
Okay, side conversation.
Los Altos restaurant.
Yes.
Yes.
So you're both, are you from the State Street Market? It's like an open market with restaurants, around, very nice setting, and the, what do you call it? The, not signature restaurant, but the
Anchor restaurant?
anchor restaurant is Tricella, which is like an upscale, Cetrella, which is one of our nicer restaurants here in Los Altos. State Street Market is owned by an investment group that owns the entire building. So Tricella is really a tenant or a lessee of that building. And so for State Street Market, the owners of State Street Market have agreed to do the social hour for us, which would be from 5:30 to 6:30. And the details of that we're still talking about, but they said 5:30 to 6:30, they can do the social hour. They also said, because as part of State Street Market, there's also Petty Creamery. And they'll see if at the end of our event, Shannon said they could get us like little ice cream cups from Petty Creamery. So that part, I'm not worried about. That part, I think, will go through without any additional cost to the Cities Association budget. With regards to Tricella, which is the restaurant that we approached initially to do on the Friday, not only were they booked, but it was totally out of our budget. They came back and they were able to do a reduced offer, like something like what person who's very familiar with how much restaurants charge during the holidays, especially Tricella level. This is a really good rate. It is for everything, all included, tips, tax, everything. It would be $7,500. I hope I'm getting this right. I think it's $7,500. We had only budgeted $3,000 for the holiday party. We were already anticipating charging members $50. We didn't want to charge more than $50. And again, let's assume we get 75 folks. So we know there's a delta there. the 3,000 plus $50 per 70 times 75. And Shawley rightly pointed out that of the 3,000, we need to use a portion of that for certificates.
Yeah, and the awards, the city champion awards, there's 2 of those, and the president's award.
But, and this is a big year for us, because it's an election year, right? And so we're gonna give certificates to our outgoing council members who are no longer, who are termed out or didn't win. And also, who else do we give certificates to? That's it, right?
That's it.
Okay, yeah. And so part of that $3,000 budget has to go towards gift bags. So it's gift bags, certificates, and the awards. And so we're looking at less than 3,000. Now, the good news is we had a budget, a similar budget amount for our summer party, which thanks to El Camino, we didn't spend all of it. So we do have money in our budget. So I'm not actually worried about asking, but the ask of this committee is to make a recommendation to the board to increase our holiday party budget by up to $2,000 to cover this additional cost to have it at Tricella Sunday, December 8th. Full menu, so they're going to do appetizers, 3 entrees because they're going to do a veggie option, and then they'll also have dessert, wine, and obviously a non-alcoholic beverage. That's what, apart from the setting, that would be the proposed menu.
So wine is included?
Wine is included for
Wow.
Tricella for serving, yeah. 75, yep. Yeah, no, that's,
So what's the delta? So we have 3K allocated, and how much did we say? from summer?
$37.50 to ticket.
I did the math.
And about how much do you have left over from the summer?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have that.
Yeah, that was my question.
But not, so we didn't, remember, we
Oh,
didn't, right. So
But
whatever
what do
we
we
had budgeted, do
We
you
had
remember?
budgeted 3,000 for the
The same
summer
amount.
event, yeah. And we didn't end up having to pay for it.
El Camino did.
We have the full 3,000?
Yes.
Okay, so then we have 3 plus 3, 6, and 3, 97.50. And how much is the expense? 75. Oh, 75 per person.
No.
Okay, 75.
7,500 total. We're gonna charge each person $50. And Gabe, this is something cities can pay, right, for their council members? That's a reasonable ask.
So,
City managers and all.
Right,
so we are saying the expense is 97.50. Oh, I see, and the, what we,
Do you know the max number of people we can invite at the
That was
original?
the question.
I don't, but if you go to Tricella's website, because he showed me, because they have different rooms, they have the speakeasy downstairs, so he showed me the room, because I told him 75 that he would reserve for us, because they have other rooms. But it will show the capacity, it's on their website.
no, but wait a minute, why am I a little confused here? I've had my coffee.
Go ahead,
So
no, that's why
we
I
have,
thought,
we have 3,000 allocated for summer party.
let's say, right,
And we have 3,000 for the holiday party,
Mhm.
that's 6,000.
right.
Then we are going to get 37.50.
Right, the money's there, but we need the
So-
board to authorize us increasing the budget for the holiday parties.
Why? We don't need to, because we're going to, what we'll have, assuming.
Moving the money.
We need them to approve the
Yeah.
3,000 from the summer going towards the full holiday.
It's only a reallocation. We're not,
Yes.
we're not going to be spending more.
But
No, it's the
it
mon-
changed, it's a budget
Line item.
modification.
Yeah, that I've got, it's not asking for more money, it's just moving it.
Yes, yes.
I just wanted
money's
to
there.
clarify.
Yes,
Yeah, because I thought for a moment that we are spending more from our budget, from our reserves, and I'm saying it's not.
We're not.
That's what I assumed, because we'll be left with 22.50 really with the expenses, and then that's what you have for the certificates and the awards and the gift
we're
bags.
saying 1,000, just to give you some money.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need 1,000 for that,
Yeah.
roughly?
Roughly.
So we'll still be left over with money.
But to that point, Tina, so when we go to the board in 2 weeks, should we ask to move 2,000? Because we don't need the full 3,000. I really don't think we need the full 3,000 to be approved to do this budget modification,
Oh.
to be allocated. Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny, go ahead.
Does it matter at all that the money was money from last year's budget?
Gabe, doesn't matter.
Depends what you're done with this year's budget.
So we adopted this year's budget for July 1st, because we're doing that fiscal year, it's on a calendar year. And in that budget, was that part of the summer home? When did we have the line item for the summer party?
The line item for the summer party it's always in the next fiscal year's budget. So it's June 2025 is what we set 3,000 aside for. And the one that we spent June 2024
Right.
is the fiscal year 24 budget.
So that's the one we're
So
trying to.
that's the one, that's where Gabe is going, yeah. So it was from last year.
Yeah, so it's not an apples. You'd have to amend the budget for revenues and expenditures, and it would come from the general fund reserve.
And then with the fiscal year 24 budget or the fiscal year
It'd be
25?
this budget.
It's budget.
The 25.
It's like the money went back in the pot. Thanks, Jenny.
So the good news is we are not going to be pulling from reserves. That's what I appreciate.
Yes, we can view it that way.
Well, it's.
It kind of is.
It is, next phrase I went, yes.
I hear you.
Because it went back after, at
Yeah.
July 1st, it went back into the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we need to explain that we know the money is there because, and I'll do it, you know what I mean, so that people don't have the same reaction where they think we're really dipping into the reserve. Like there's money that fortunately we didn't have to use all of it for the.
And another way to put it is our summer party, we got a good sponsor, which helps us use up both the summer party and the winter holiday party in a nicer manner. That's the way
And
to
it's the
put it.
same calendar year.
It's the same calendar year. We're just moving the general fund money around, but really having that summer benefit, the sponsor or the summer event helps us do this
And
in a
then,
nicer manner.
and maybe Gabe can help draft the staff report
Okay.
to just make sure it's clear.
Thank you, Gabe.
Citrellas, right? Citrella?
Chitrella, so it's CETR, yes.
Citrella.
There you go. Chitrella, that's how they pronounce it.
How do you spell it? C-E?
CETRELLA.
Citrella. 108 people is
That was, yeah,
that room on it. So
yeah.
We
It's
never had
108.
Oh, perfect.
And they're holding the whole thing for us?
Yeah. He can actually, he has a speakeasy, there's a patio area. We're only getting that main room,
75 people.
75 people, that holds 108. Like, if he doesn't have it booked, like the speakeasy downstairs, we'll see. But he's not, the only thing we're reserving is 108. So if another holiday party wants to reserve the speakeasy or the patio, they can do that. Yeah. So we may end up with another party with us.
Which is fine. So 108 is the capacity. When do you have to, again, I'm not getting into the details, just thinking aloud.
Why
what's-
wouldn't we tell them how
Exactly.
many people we have?
That's my question.
Because it might be very, popular. More people may be.
I don't think we'll get 100. Like at the HP event last year, we had over 100 people RSVP and like 93 show up, remember? Like that was like I don't think we've ever, since I've been involved.
We didn't do it HP. We did
No,
it,
Cal Cities HP. The
Yeah.
Cal Cities event, we had an HP last year.
Yeah.
The one we rushed from.
right,
Monterey.
Jan.
We had over 100 people actually RSVP for the event. That was San Mateo County, but only about 93 showed up.
Okay.
So I don't anticipate having 108 people.
How many did you have at the Mountain View holiday party?
About
You
80.
people and you have incoming people that want to build relationships with, because I will encourage all the new incoming council members
So we should all.
to come to this event.
Right.
We have multiple new city managers, which, them, they don't always come, but I always, especially now, encouraging my city manager, from Sunnyvale standpoint, with the
No, I want all
presidency.
the city managers to come.
But I think, so, it's fine, we'll figure
You know,
it out,
we
because,
need
hang on,
a
so
number-
looking at this, they also go way down at the bottom, 120 guests, which is a restaurant and the terrace. So you have different, depending on how many we have, it's just finalizing that number, the sooner the better.
But also if the terrace isn't booked.
Yes, understood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, it'd be helpful, Shali, looking back, who was present 2 years ago? So the last time we had an election year, was it Margaret? Looking at how many,
Jeff,
Stephens here.
it was Chappitt's year. The last year we had the reshuffle, because that's what this year will be like.
Yeah.
Right? What that number was. Because remember it's at the
Oh,
Chinese
yeah,
restaurant? Yeah.
Actually, I think I have.
Jenny.
Okay, I have another kind of FPPC question, just understanding, this rate that they're giving us, are they doing us a favor? Or is this a rate that they would give anybody and we kind of change the menu?
I think this is a rate they would give to a nonprofit organization.
Okay, so they're treating us similarly to other similarly situated organizations, and therefore it's not a dollar amount that we need to take into account. Okay,
They were treating us because we're pitched it like which we are, we're not a for-profit organization.
okay. So all not-for-profit organizations. Okay, great, thank you.
We need to have some sort of statement like fair market value, blah, blah, blah.
Thank you, Janet. I remember you raising that issue last year when, Mountain View, we were trying to find a place which didn't cost us basic money for the room place.
And I'll make, if you want something in writing, I'll get it to put it in writing, just to.
I
make
just
sure
wanted to make sure we didn't have to go through this analysis, that each person who attends, it would probably be under $50 anyway, but I think we're being treated similar. They're not doing something special.
Not for us compared to private, so yes, they're giving us this rate because we're equivalent to a nonprofit public organization where they know it's a lot of elected officials who don't have a lot of money.
Yep, perfect.
Does that mean, Jani, that, if that's the case, none of us needs to report anything and the city can buy our tickets for $50 each?
Well, that's up to each individual city if they want to pay for it, if they consider it official business, right? But yes, that's, I'll double check, but that's exactly the point that I was trying to discern if they were at the behest of our president or if they were doing something special, because as you know, you're allowed to take, if there's a free movie ticket and it doesn't matter whether you're a council member or not, that's fine. You can take the free movie ticket, right? And so I just wanted to make sure they weren't doing it because we're a city. And it sounds like they have a category of customers that are not for profit, and we fall in that. So I don't think we have any issue.
I will get them to put in writing to make clear that this is because we're a not-for-profit. And this is the type of, I know that's why, because we
Yeah.
said, we're not-for-profit, okay.
Is there someone at the trial that I can work with in terms of, like insurance and all that kind of stuff?
Once the board approves it next year, I'm gonna turn everything over to you and Gabe and his staff. And take care of everything else. Yeah,
Okay,
so once the board approves it and it's really going to happen, then.
I'm insurance, I want to waive that certificate everyone.
Will that be enough time frame for you to sort out all the details, if anything is left open? I don't know. I'm just jumping in to make sure.
So I kind of working backwards from the date of the party, I would, and I don't know if we're gonna get to it next, but I need to order the awards, right? Cause,
You talked to, did you reach out already to staff or not yet?
well, I did talk to Gabe very briefly about doing the certificates, which he told me won't be printed as nicely as San Jose, but they will be printed. But he's totally teasing. But the awards that I order, that say like the city's champion award.
How long does it take to order these things? I don't know either.
Yeah, so, if I put in the order like this week or next week, I should get it, before December 8th without having to pay like any expedited shipping. And I just wanted to use today's meeting to like completely 100% confirm who's getting the award and what name should be.
That's what I'm asking, because the board will decide on November 14th.
Oh, wow.
Whatever you're taking to the board, I don't know. I don't know
The
the details.
awardee is already confirmed. That's Supervisor Simidian and Momentum for Health. So you can order the award.
Okay, I'm just helping us think through it.
Do you like to be called Joe Simidian, Joseph Simidian, S. Joseph Simidian? Like, you know what I mean?
What-
I don't know. I'm assuming
I thought you raised.
check with the staff. I have a question. Yeah. Non-council or city-related people. What's the price? We need to set a price on that also. So $100, $125.
We've had this discussion in the
Yeah,
past
yeah.
where I've said just do 50 for all, and I remember this, and it's for us to decide. Yeah, we charge them a little bit more, non-council members and non-city staff. Do we charge them a little bit more, which would help us?
Yeah, who would be that, for example?
County supervisors, assembly members, guests, like I know Chappie's coming because he goes to all our events. Like, there are people who will come.
Yeah.
There are people
There's
who will
always
come.
people
There
that,
are people who will come.
advocates, whatever, people
Yeah.
that.
So, two questions. One is if Gilroy comes, do we charge them the 50, remember, or do we charge them the?
Well, we'll see where Gilroy is by December 8th, because you saw Marie's email. We'll see if it happens. Yeah. Well, yeah, they're not a member by December 8th. Then they would get this non-member rate that Larry's trying to impose.
But I think that's,
Fair?
I think that's fair. I think,
I'm in the minority here, but I'm totally fine if you guys want to charge non-members a little bit. I can
it's
support
an
it.
advocacy position, and I think, I can't remember, but there's always a handful of people that want to join.
No,
And
it's true.
And it's a good,
There
and
will
it's a
be
good deal.
non-members.
It's advocating with, with council, with city managers.
I support what Larry's saying. It's really, the member cities are paying some money.
Right.
And we are trying to keep it to 50, so the members, the council members who are supporting, who are working for these cities, working in whatever capacity,
Right.
right? Get this right so they can come and attend. It's really for them. Anyone else who wants to get the benefit of that advocacy with these folks, I
Right.
support Larry, what you're saying.
Are you saying 75?
What are we, we're charging?
We're charging members $50. That's what we're estimating.
75, yeah. I think that's fair.
I agree, even if it's 5 of them, that's okay. I mean, we have to account for the two, how many that we are giving awards to, because we're not going to charge them the money, 50.
The offset there.
Yeah,
So maybe we'll bring Mary, hopefully,
Yeah,
his
so-
wife. and-
Sure, so
Yeah.
there's 2 right there, and how many from?
And Momentum may bring, it's David Minetta, Julia Miller may come, because she is, she was on the board for Momentum for Health.
Okay.
Julia.
That's how many people we comp to.
Right.
So how many are we looking at?
So that's part of this discussion. Do we want, so with Joe, I would say, let's offer him 3 seats. It's up to him how he uses the 3 seats, but I'm thinking Mary and maybe a staff person,
Okay,
his wife and maybe a staff person.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
for Momentum, do we also comp 3?
I think that's it.
That's fair.
Yeah, so 3.
That's fair.
so that's right way, we need somehow to, that's 3 and 3, 6. I mean,
No, you guys have to.
look,
$25 is $25.
Yeah. yeah. Yeah, well,
75.
No, listen, I'm not opposed to it, and it will help the budget, yeah.
I will share this. My city, I barely got 3-2 vote to make this a JP. They were ready to pull out.
I remember.
That is the position I'm coming from. Larry raised a great point. We want to make sure we are not giving anything to any city, that what's the benefit we are getting? We are paying the dues. And if somebody else can come and have full access at the annual networking, because most of them don't show up for the summer event.
Sure. This
So,
is the big one.
yeah, let's make a clear distinction. I think that's a valid point. I support it.
So all of this will be recommended to the board. So we'll recommend $50 for members, $75 for non-members, to transfer $2,000 to the holiday party budget. Anything else? Because we're recommending this to the board.
Do we
Anything
need
else?
to take a vote on a budget, amendment or anything like that?
For the revenue and expenditure.
That is short, just forget it.
It's $25 extra.
No. You were looking at the time. I'm
Oh,
like,
it's
that's
you.
short. Yeah, that's what I just forget it. I knew this was going to happen.
But I think it's like,
I knew
we
this
just
was
said
gonna
5:30, and we're like, let's move it to 5.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
I have no choice because that's how the whole year has gone. Even if I had something else conflict,
Right.
we need quorum here. So I've made that.
Thank you for making the.
Of course.
Can I ask a question before we move on?
Yeah, no, this is our opportunity to actually talk about the holiday party.
So given that it is October 30th, so we have like 5 weeks roughly before the actual party, I'd like to get the invitation out ASAP. So can I call on Gabe's staff? Help me,
Make it pretty like they did for the
Yeah.
summer party.
because I have no.
Yes, email Sonia, Scott.
And
And so to that point, I mean, we have 3 votes here. I actually think we'll get majority. Should we go out on a limb and just assume we're gonna get board approval to do this?
I would say yes. The sooner it's on people's calendars
Exactly. Let's
with
go.
the correct date.
Did you you did a save the date for the 8th as well, right?
I don't.
I'd
think
asked, oh, you didn't?
we Don't.
Okay.
think
Okay.
There were too many dates floating out. The
Yeah, no, no,
13th,
no.
The 15th, the 8th.
After the last meeting, I
I
thought we
wasn't
had
here last
said,
meeting, sorry.
yeah, I thought we'd said, you wanna check, cause I thought we had said put a hold for the
I don't
8th as
think
well.
We did.
We didn't get it. Okay, so then definitely, we should do a save the date for December 8th, 5:30 PM. We're gonna go out on a limb here and just assume that it's gonna get approved. So what you're really doing is a save the date.
Yeah, I think that.
More information, yeah, that was, it needs to go out, save the date, 5:30 PM, Los Altos. Whatever else you need to put in that save the date, more information to come, or invitation will follow. And then work with Sonia and Gabe's staff.
So about 9 o'clock again. I'm gonna put a
Well,
calendar.
I'm thinking 5:30 to 6:30 for the social hour. That's out in the State Street Market, then we move to Churchella. That's gonna be the program and the sit-down dinner. That's gonna be another 2 hours.
Yeah.
8:30, and then we move back for ice cream if Shannon is able. I don't know if we're gonna do the ice cream, but yeah. 9.
She's right, she said 9.
Do you put an end time? You normally put an end time
So I'm
on it.
gonna put a calendar hold.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
why I
So
wanted,
that's
just
it.
for the calendar hold.
I think that would be reasonable, because some people, it's Sunday evening, people will have other engagements. If they know it's 5:30 to 6:30 or 5:30 to 9, they can accordingly say yes or no. Because some may say no, you say 5:30, they must say, oh, 5:30 to 7, that's it.
Well, there's one calendar hold that's there right now, and I think it's December 15th. So what I will do is I'll change that calendar hold with a note. And then I'll send a separate email to all city council members.
There was a reason why we moved from 15 to 8, or they're not even available.
Mayor Klein.
I gave a problem, but I think in general, the sooner we have it in
You make good
December,
points.
the better it is, because people's lives just get busier and busier.
Yeah, I see your point. I wasn't at the last board meeting, that's why I'm asking. You may have had a discussion.
So originally, we quickly went to the 15th because we were looking at that
I remember.
Friday.
Yeah.
You know, so we didn't even, it
From
was-
the 13th to the 15th.
Right,
correct. But then,
15th or 18th.
Larry made the good
Yeah.
point of that may be too late in December when people are already taken off.
it's both. It's
Yeah.
both, because 8, some may anyway not be available. So I'm okay with both dates, I blocked both. It's hard to predict is all I'm saying.
No, I agree. And any date you're going to pick is going to be a problem. But I do think that Sunday nights will be better the sooner we tell people, so.
The sooner we tell people is, I completely agree, very important.
Any other logistics about the holiday, because this is we need to.
And this is more of a me logistics, it's not like a problem for anybody else. So I'm trying to get this buttoned up by like, say, Thanksgiving, because there's an annual, statewide school board association conference that's always the week after. Oh, awesome. And so December 7th is when that conference ends.
Wait, what are the dates?
It's the.
David.
No.
I know, it's like, did I get the meeting? It's,
We're talking about the holiday party.
it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the Saturday is December 7th. But. It's like, no. That's why I'm saying it's more of a me problem than an anybody else problem, because what I'm thinking is if I get everything buttoned up beforehand, then I'll be okay.
Where's the conference?
Yeah.
So you fly back on the
I
7th?
fly back on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I thought about this, and I thought about what was I doing in the last few weeks, so I'm gonna order the awards ahead of time. And I know the board won't approve until November 14th, but if you could give me the contacts. so I
Okay, we're gonna act as if we're presuming it will be approved.
Because I don't have to figure out the venue separately from the caterer, separately from, you know what I mean?
Right.
So if I get all those, I can talk to them and start getting some of the stuff sorted ahead of time. And then, if I get the names of whoever Well, we'll know by then, right? Because the election will be certified by this.
Well, unless they're close ones.
Okay. So how much time then do you guys need to print out? We could do a mail merge on the certificates or something, I don't know.
What's the date of certification? 30 days. They can't do before 30 days.
Yeah, but if there's a recount, seeing I lived this 2016,
Oh, yeah. well, that
it gets
would-
pushed to
Yeah.
January.
you know,
Yeah, but regularly, is the city clerk? I think
Both of them show up.
Yeah.
Friday, the 6th may be the certification. In the past, I've seen them do it by Friday.
No, I'm sorry, are you talking about, invitation? What do you?
Oh, no, this is for the certificates for, city council members.
Outgoing city
Outgoing
council
city
members, like somebody sitting next to us, right?
Right.
Next to Larry.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Yeah.
If there's conflict,
I know, she completely different.
if
there's conflict, there's conflict.
Yes, I get it.
And
Yeah.
we don't
There
have.
is a question, I was just giving the date, and I'm with you.
And
We all put those meetings together.
you get it whenever the lawyers figure it all out.
So, Shelley, November 6th.
Yeah.
We should know November 6th and we can start putting the certificates together. And whatever we don't know, we don't know.
Just have a dummy one and then present it and then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Figuring dummies right, so just have extras.
Okay.
Blank.
Yeah, that's a great idea. You want me to write some names? I can do it last minute, bring some colored marker. Seriously, I can put legible, no, jokes aside.
Okay, this is that.
Yeah, seriously, I can write legible.
Do we do the certificates in-house game?
We'll have to coordinate with some. So we do some in-house, but, for something like this is probably bigger, it's probably something we wanna coordinate with. So I would just give Sonia a heads up. Cause what we do are I mean, you've seen them, we just open the blue folder and it's nice, but if we're doing
San Jose level.
That's right.
Well, at San Jose level, it takes more time.
No, you have nice handwriting.
I spent a full semester writing.
Right.
Yeah.
And that Saturday, just get the paper and then we'll just run it through the printer.
Yeah.
We can do that. I'm not.
However you wanna do it.
Okay, no, I think I'm good. Okay. Let me just-
Any other, so Margaret, so holiday party, December 8th, Sunday. 5:30 to 9 PM. Here at Los Altos, at Tricella and State Street Market. We're gonna ask the board, do you already vote on this? Because now we have Margaret, to increase the budget for the holiday party from 3,000 to 5,000. There's money in the budget. And that's the ask, and then we're also going to, there was something else we're gonna have the board, so initially I said $50 for all attendees. Mayor Klein, as he did last year, and I think the year before, and you will remember, said we should charge non-members, yes. And I was outvoted by these two, so unless you're gonna tie the vote, right now, I joined them, it's fine. But we're gonna do members $50, non-members $75.
I also feel we should share with Margaret, we're going to be having 6 for 2 awards, 3 tickets each, which we won't be charging 3 persons. Like, yeah, Joe Samitian, Mary Samitian, plus 1 staffer, similarly with Momentum for Health. David plus a couple more, so that's like 6 not to be charged, so I definitely support Larry's thing. Plus, I also reminded them, my city was 3-2 split for JPA. Somebody could look, what's the benefit? You were there. You were there.
The benefit of being a member, you'd only pay $50 and non-members pay $75. And we'll put it, no. Did we vote on it already?
We didn't know.
So we can do a motion to just put it all together. So motion to
Increase
confirm,
go ahead.
confirm the date of December 8th, because at the last meeting we did it. So confirm the date of December 8th, increase the holiday party budget by 2,000. And to set the rate of $50 per member, $75 for non-members.
And, yeah, and would you like to include there, that she can start working on it before board approval?
That doesn't have to be part of the motion.
No, I think
Okay,
this is
good,
motion to recommend to the board.
Yeah, this is a recommendation. By the time we get to the board, you should have already started working on a lot of things.
So I was going to send, so there's already one calendar hold, I was gonna modify that and change it to December 8th, and then send out an email that says save the date. And then, the logistics of actually buying the tickets, I don't wanna use Eventbrite, which we use every year, they charge 5% of the ticket price.
So what were you thinking?
I don't know, I'm like, should I invoice people? Eventbrite is probably,
How can we get money from the different cities?
because it's easy for them to just use a credit card, you know, no one has asked me for an invoice. So I think they all like to go buy the tickets on Eventbrite. So is that okay?
Well, what does Cal Cities use for its event? Does it use Eventbrite? Because we always have, it'd be good to find out what others have done and if there's really an upcharge.
Your city clerk might be able to help, I'm just thinking, because I know my city pays for this, that we don't ask for too many events.
Right.
This one, they always say, look, we want you to go and meet other council members, so we'll cover it.
So it's not covering the cost. I agree with you, Tina. It's the platform we use.
No, I hear you,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, somebody may have an idea, because it's really, if mostly it is cities sending money, there may be a different way to do it. That's the reason I brought that in.
So
I
they
heard-
may know when they're paying it for us, what they're paying to. Okay.
I just as, because if majority are being paid by the cities,
Right.
It's just usually, case from what I remember,
A city paying for that membership?
they send me a check. Or they make a quote direct deposit, but they have the bank and then. Yeah, I'm happy to generate invoices if people want that.
It has to be a.
how are we going to do the non-members? If that's the route we go, how do we?
There's gonna be a link, so even if it's Eventbrite, let's say we go with event, they'll all get the link. Your city will get the link to go into Eventbrite and buy your $50 ticket, or non-members will get the same link and go in and buy the $75 ticket.
Yeah, but Eventbrite is charging us 5%.
Right, I'm just saying, whatever we use, that will be the motion.
Okay.
They'll go in, they'll click on the link, so whatever the Eventbrite is.
Make it easy.
If there's no alternative,
Okay.
then we fall back to Eventbrite, but I'll find out, I can text to find out what Cal Cities uses.
Is that what it is?
$187 if it was
Oh.
75 times 50, so 200.
Okay. Okay, that's not too bad.
So where I am is, if there's no alternative, it's $200. But I do think it's worth looking into tax, like,
Yeah.
if there's an alternative, and I can't remember what Cal Cities uses, but I don't think there's a charge.
So, one question. So you talked about that they can directly deposit into the checking account?
Yeah.
Or paying for,
Transfer.
so the electronic transfer that they're doing for the city dues?
Yeah.
If they're used to that, you know, that's an option for them. And I would make that available, you know, it's like credit card, you know, Eventbrite for everyone else, but if cities are doing it and they already have that billing, because once that's set up, my guess is like, oh, you want $50 per person? Well, we have
Yeah.
6 council members going, done.
Is that doable?
Well, I think the benefit of Eventbrite is that you get the name of the person. I mean, I don't know if you guys are checking or not, but if you invoice the city, and we say we have 5 people going, we'll pay 5 times. And then 3 may show up, 6 may show up, it's not attached to a name. So it's the benefit of the ticket system with Eventbrite.
So
So
we'll figure that out. So this is not, yeah. But anything else you want feedback on, Shelley? You sure? Okay. This will be busy over the next 2 weeks, putting everything in motion, because we're gonna assume.
we've got multiple meetings after. Complete streets is next week.
What? Oh, they are.
So the motion is to recommend to the board of directors to confirm the date of the holiday party is December 8th. Increase the $1,000 set a rate of $50 per person ticket price for members and $75 per person ticket price for non-members, and to comp the honorees, 3 each, are cities association champions. Who would like to make that motion? Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Any public comment in the room or online? Before we close the item, Charlie, do you need anything else from us on the holiday party? Right.
Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
So we'll do this as a recommendation to the board for me. All right, next item 4, our upcoming meeting agendas, and we'll start with Black. Joe.
Yeah.
So, Black Community agenda starts with catching up with some meeting minutes, of course, then an update. I am not sure between item number 2 and 3, which is the chair's update, and number 2 and number 3 is 2024 Legislative Action Committee year in review. Should we just combine them, or what do you suggest how to keep it separate? Because then we are going into the legislative session from the year.
So can I say why?
Why did you
I
separate it?
structured it that way?
Yeah.
It's because the chair update is kind of like the technical nuts and bolts business, which you may not have any of at the last meeting of the year. And then the year in review is this is what Black did this year. So it's not necessarily the update, but it's the report out, this is what we accomplished this year. We sent this many letters, we had this many people come and speak. And then after that, the next agenda item is, this is what the legislative session looked like this year. And then the other guest speaker would talk about, these are the position letters that you all submitted. This is what happened to those bills. So in my head, it's kind of broken out as like the kind of the technical nuts and bolts of what you do as lab chair. And you may not have an update, that's to say that, but I wanted to give you the option in case you thought of something. In case you wanted to say like, it's been great being lab chair, I don't know, whatever you want, you know.
I agree, Shelley. I think they're different. And if you don't have anything to update,
Do you have a suggestion for number 2? What to?
you want to mention the CASCC legislative address event on January 24th or whenever that date is.
Okay,
Because your ledge folks won't necessarily be at the board meeting.
true. Okay, so we'll keep it separate very briefly in number 2, and I'll follow up with you and you. So number 3, of course, is what we have done the whole year. That's pretty straightforward. And number 4, we have put, thank you, Shali. The draft agenda has 2 speakers. Let me just jump to number 2. We just got an email back from Carly that she has sent us. I didn't have time to open it, but she has a matrix of all the bill positions
Nice.
that.
And Carly is the lobbyist for Palo Alto, or?
Correct.
Okay.
As well as Santa Clara. It's the same firm. I don't know if she does both cities.
Okay.
But I'm identified here by the firm and not by the city that's hired.
Correct, yeah. Thank you. And so I haven't asked her yet to present because I wanted to see time-wise how it goes, and I'd go it. But she just sent that matrix update, and she has been very helpful. The first guest speaker is Montanya Cruz.
Yep.
And you had
He's
mentioned.
confirmed, he's the new Seth Miller, if you guys have met him. So he will present, I don't know if he'll be in person or online, but he will do the update. And what he'll cover, there are 3 things. He'll cover the bills that got signed into law, the ones that didn't, that they lobbied for that were relevant to cities, and then also what they expect from next year.
Okay, so that's fabulous. I think we could still have Carly maybe online, just talk about, she has been
So
very
she worked with
supportive.
you, yeah.
Yeah, she worked very well, and she's been very supportive. So I can ask her if at all she's available for an online. Typically, she's in Sacramento, and she's been very open to the idea of being available online. And that's easier, I think, in requesting someone for 5 to 7 minutes.
And I'm guessing Montana's gonna be online too, because he's.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So we need to coordinate with Montana. You've already, is his name
That's good.
Montana or Montana?
Montana.
Yes, how does he like to?
Montana?
Montana.
I don't think that there's a little two that.
Yeah, and I don't wanna butcher it either. I know how to, but
Okay.
let's get the right pronunciation.
Okay, so both we can have quickly Montana and Carly. And the item number 5 is really a quick feedback from committee members for how they felt this year went and how next year is gonna go. So we will start at 6 o'clock. The goal is to keep it 45 minutes. Hopefully, we don't get into the 15-minute buffer before the board meeting. It sometimes gets to be a chatty group, especially this will be after the election and they may be looking at bills and some sidebar conversations. But straightforward, and I think it'll be kind of lovely. It's been a busy year and people have been very supportive. They've done a lot of work.
You have,
And
no.
we had good successes with, I mean, may have been a coincidence, but it's good to know that we were on the right side of public safety bills, supporting those quite a bit. And yes, there is also disappointment on the housing related bills that we were opposing, but no surprises there.
Yes, we should still.
So it was great.
Would you like to open the room at 5:45 in case people want to come early and chat so that you can get started by 6? Instead of opening the room at 6?
Brilliant, always.
I think that will help. But,
Okay.
yes,
Okay, I'll still leave 6, should I still leave 6 o'clock on the agenda? Or should I make it?
was your strategy to say start time 5? What were
So
you
my
thinking?
strategy was meeting starts at 6, that's what I would leave on the agenda.
Right.
Doors open at 5:45, but sometimes people only look at the agenda and they're like, oh, I'll come at 6. How do you, I'm sure people will have a lot to say, and I don't want to truncate any of your.
Do you want to start your meeting at 5:30? It hasn't been
No,
published.
5:30 is too early. People don't like, because 5:30 to 6:30.
No, it would give you, I mean, really you have till 6:50.
Yeah, I know. Do we have that? Well, if we have 2 speakers, it depends if Montana has a lot to cover, how much do you?
10 minutes.
So if we say 10, Hardy can easily cover 10 minutes. It just depends who's going to show up. This will be after the election, so people may show up at 5. They will want to talk about the election.
It's your, so if you think you can get it done in 50 minutes, then start at 6. If not, then start at 5:30 to give you this buffer social time.
Let's start at 5:30.
5:30?
Unless Larry, you think, what's your schedule looking like? Yeah, he's on that.
Alyssa was on, like, I think she's on, but
Oh,
she's
yeah,
on
sorry.
maternity leave.
That's fine.
She's on-
I'll be there. I thought, although I think, I can't remember if I'm the alternate or Mervin's the alternate, but I'll figure that out. I'll be there.
Okay.
I will be there.
Okay.
I think Merlin's actually the alternate, but
Okay.
I will be showing up early. Don't worry about that.
Okay, let's start at 5:30. That actually gives us time to go through all the bills that we took positions on, and that may be a good setting the stage for next year, kind of a refresher, if you will.
And if you end, so.
If we end at 6:30,
It's okay,
yeah,
right?
some people can go home and some can, at least we are not running till 7 o'clock, which is what has happened
Right.
often.
Yeah, say 5:30, so you may not get started till 5:40 because people are chatting.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, or we may not have quorum, but we can start.
The only thing you're voting on is the minutes.
Yeah, so we can start with the rest of the stuff. If
And
people
you
don't
don't
show
have
up by
quorum.
5:40, we can start.
You can always push the voting on the minutes to later in the meeting if you want to.
Yeah. So 5:30, we'll start the meeting. Let's call it, 5:40 latest, we will actually get,
Okay.
if
But
people
on the
are,
agenda, it'll say 5.
thank you. Great suggestion, Lisa. Because 6 o'clock would have meant 6:15, and that would have left us 30 minutes to really rush. I was not thinking that, but I think it helps, certainly helps.
And 5:30 doesn't sound early to me based on previous LAC start times.
Yes. Okay.
All right, any other questions, comments on LAC? Thank you.
Would you like to move on to the board agenda? Do you want to see the draft board agenda?
Actually, I have this one. So for the board agenda, which is our last board meeting for the year, we'll do the consent, items, the normal minutes, and then Citizens Association, the 2024 financial year review. And at least three of us remember we used to have the financial report every meeting, and then we switched it to quarterly. And knock on wood, no one has pulled it from the consent, so we'll continue with that practice. So we'll just have it in the packet and see if anybody pulls it or has questions. Then I'll do my update. And then third item is climate change. So when we did our prep meeting for the board meeting, Shali and I went over the different priorities that we had set for this year. And the only priority that we thought we didn't cover well enough was climate change. So we thought we would add this agenda item to our last board meeting. And so we're considering one or two speakers, a SPCE representative and someone from Actera. The idea that we started with was to have someone talk about what cities can do going forward, and hearing from other cities what they have been doing this past year, 2 years. So that was the idea. I talked with Pat Burge, who's very connected with Actera, and gave him this topic, and he said he'd love to have Actera talk, thinks they'd be great, but not on this topic. And I think SVCE would definitely be good on this topic. I don't know about availability.
I spoke with Monica last Friday after SVCE's exec committee meeting, and she said she can certainly have someone attend, but I have been texting you back and forth, waiting to figure out how much time they'll have and what is the narrower subject area. So highly likely we can have one or two persons, and Larry, I want to name the folks if you have any thoughts here. Monica says Zoe could be, and Zoe was very interested. Or Monica said, depending if we also offer it up online, maybe Tony could join. Because earlier Nisa had talked about the Berkeley CASCC and where the cities are with reach codes, and that was one approach. Of course, Margaret knows that place very well as well. The other thought that came to my mind was, because by yesterday I knew Actera may not happen in November.
Right.
If you want to cover 30 minutes, do you think at all we should consider Justin?
For
Decarbon.
the decarbonization programs.
Yeah, where the cities are. That was, and I have not talked with Monica still because I've been doing that loop with you. I thought, let's have a conversation here together, because all of us, you have been on SBC.
And we have 30 minutes allocated for this item. And if we can make it 20 minutes, we don't have to use the full.
Yeah.
We normally try to set the agenda for an hour and 45 minutes, give ourselves 15 minutes, but we do, everybody goes longer. We can reduce the time and have Actera come back next year to talk about other environmental efforts. Or we could broaden the topic, give Actera 10 minutes, give SVCE 15 minutes, and then do 5 minutes for questions. Like, either works. Or we could just do SVCE and make it a 20-minute item.
I think we can say 20. Zoe would be happy to talk about all the cities. I'm happy to make it only SVC, whatever we all want.
So let's
I'm
just make it,
open.
because even, and
Just
then,
be aware that SVCE excludes, from city association perspective, Palo Alto, Santa Clara, and San Jose.
but they're not members for it.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
Because it's educational, even if you're not part of SBCE, learning about programs
Mhm.
that you can implement. I mean, Palo Alto has done a lot of the as a matter of fact, I think Palo Alto, if Greer attends that meeting, I mean, they've done so many things. It'd be good to hear what they have been doing, like the non-SBCE cities. Like Palo Alto.
But we'll talk about
No, just as part of the board discussion, like when we open it up for discussion.
Oh, to hear from them. Okay. So Larry, do you have any suggestions? How should I put it to Monica, preference-wise, depending on who's available? Knowing all three, unless they have something on their schedule.
Leave it up to Monica,
Okay.
any of those topics would be good for the,
So
for the board.
which topics should be, because this is not like this, hey, Gurish send someone, this like different.
Understood, so.
Or reach codes?
So decarb.
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 If you have to choose, I think decarb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Decarb is, so reach codes affects everybody.
Sure.
So there is a wider swath, although,
Yeah.
so in different cities have already decided to do things, and
Cities
as
update.
we heard, the laws continue to change. And so Yeah. The car change, yes.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So it's actually good.
Just to update everybody that they don't have to be as, so yeah. I
Oh,
think-
that would be good to get that update.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
update from where each city is from reach codes or
No.
update just?
So what happened with car?
Yeah, okay. The electric, yes,
Last week.
Actually.
yeah, the one that we were talking about that one, that day, yes,
Oh,
yes.
that would be great, because yeah.
So that's
Also,
good.
You know, the gas appliance replacement ban is in 2027. So, that would be helpful, because I don't know how many people actually know that's coming.
Okay.
So bringing that up and then just, you know.
No, I think it's a great
having
discussion.
Okay.
CASCC talking about, you know, what are some of the things that cities can do to help their residents get ready for this. So we just talked about, like, next year, we're gonna do this big heat pump water heater campaign and try to like encourage folks to start changing out their water heaters and even, like, actually, SVC already has, they give out rebates. And then, like, Mountain View, we're talking about adding to that, but, you know, just getting cities aware and thinking about what they can do to just help people make that changeover, because it could be coming in 2 years, 3 years, 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just know we were doing this. So the gas appliance replacement ban 2027, that was the BACMed one. Then the carb one, that,
Electric buildings.
that's the electric, is that the one from carb? Because I know the new electric building code is coming. That's the email that Zoe sent us also recently. And carbs is the same? Because you're more familiar with carb, I am not. Okay, and basically what can the cities do? And I can send those 3 to Monica and talk with her, whoever is available that day. And we'll say, I think let's keep it 30 minutes for.
No, I think this is a great, and hearing what other cities are planning,
Yeah.
it'd be great.
Right.
All right, we have a plan.
So just to confirm, climate change is now 20 minutes?
30.
No, 30, she wants to give the 30.
But only SVC.
Yes.
Correct.
And then we'll figure out Actera if you want it on your agenda next year.
This will actually be more meaningful with one for 30 minutes total.
And I think there'll be a lot of engagement.
Yeah, so I'll ask them to present for 15 minutes, is that good? I'm expecting a lot of, as you said, questions and hearing from the other 3 big cities, if they have other ideas. Okay.
So can I work with you on the title for that agenda item? No, I don't think you want to just call it climate change.
Do you want to call it decarbonization? Oh, no, but that's too, SVC.
You guys can work on
We
it.
can work on
You
that.
can work on it.
Talk
It's
about
good.
just reach code and.
Don't do the reach codes, the buzzword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Transition to it.
Yeah.
Electrification.
It's okay.
Once I know who the speaker is, they may be able to.
They may
share
give you the
something.
topic.
What I'm hearing is, and I agree, layperson's language, not SVCE language.
I think it's gonna call it building decarbonization, because it is connected.
Pollution-free homes and buildings.
No. All right, you're good.
Good, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Give me more, I'll do this tomorrow.
All right, so
Oh,
Yeah, thank you.
any public comment in the room, online? Okay, so the next item is the synthetic cannabis item. And just some history here, Matt Savage has been reaching out to us for months to get on our agenda. And so because we thought we had time, we're giving it to him. It doesn't really tie to one of our priorities, but he's been so diligent, like that. So, and then you've talked with him too, right? Yeah.
It's really interesting, and it's kind of scary because they just change one little molecule and suddenly all of the cannabis rules don't apply to these shops, and they're all over all of our cities, so. Yeah, it is, exactly.
So he's ready to go. with its presentation, and it's what, and, I mean, the takeaway is what we can do as cities, right? This is awareness, education, but then what we can do to support it. All right, then next, it's the housing, I asked for public comment for yours, and then I realized we're actually just doing the board agenda.
On the previous one, who's coming for LAC to talk about bills?
Oh, Montana Cruz from, senior, and second.
Just to give them a heads up that they might want to stay, or at least, because to talk about, because
For the board meeting?
for the synthetic portion, I'm not sure if laws need to change. Can you just ping them to see if the state is changing any laws for synthetic cannabis?
So you can ask Carly, I can ask Montana. I
And
can,
just bring that information. They don't have to stay,
Okay.
but it's important to have that question raised earlier in the day.
Synthetic
cannabis.
So Matt Savage told me he's supposed to come in October, and he asked to come in November because the governor has some new emergency regulations then.
And so he's on top of it.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So that's why he wanted to come in November.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with the
Okay.
subject, so should I still ask Carly? I can shoot her an email.
Still ask Carly, but Matt's on top of it, but
That's great.
the
Carly's
the
good.
more eyes that you have, or
Yeah, I was just making a list for myself, so ask Carly about the.
And it feeds into maybe action the LAC committee will take next year. Because if there are things we need to lobby for and advocate, then we know what's coming up next year, depending on where majority of the board is then.
Okay.
All right, so housing element update roundtable. This is something our members have been asking for months. It's one of our priorities, housing, where, because we all went through the HUE or HU process. People have wanted to talk about it and give feedback. And so finally we got it on the agenda. It's just gonna be a roundtable, like your experience, feedback to ABAG, or maybe we'll do a letter to HCD on our feedback on what we liked about the process, what didn't work, and what we hope to see the next round of the RENA process. So that's the focus of it.
Are we talking ABAG or are we talking HCD?
And I know the process because I served on
Yeah,
the
that's
three
what I'm asking.
ABAG committees that did the RENA process.
Okay, because this is adding to my list. I'm not complaining. I just don't want to miss something because this is something I would like to coordinate, for example, me with my city to get some information.
Hard information.
Correct,
Okay.
before I come in here as a board member that night.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm happy to explain the process between HCD and the different cogs.
Yeah.
Okay. Because ABAG is just basically carrying out the RENA process as our cog. Okay.
Right.
All right. So that's the housing element update. Any questions on that item? Okay. And then elections, that's you, Shali, and Jani.
Jenny, did answer our question about do we have to do paper ballots, so voice vote is okay. Do we need like any, what are those things called, like rules or like protocol, like anything we hand out to people, like this is how we do the election? Nothing like that. We present the slate, ask for nominations from the floor. Who runs the election? Because I've never,
Yeah, this is your item,
okay.
but we'll help you.
Okay.
Did you do it last year?
I did not do it last
Ah. I did it last year.
Did Jenny do it?
year.
You were our ED last year.
Yeah, so it's got to be you or Jenny.
I think it was just because it was a slate and.
Which is
There
the
are no
same process.
So probably it'll be the same thing this year. No nominations from the floor. We have a discussion. I don't think we even took, did everybody even, I don't even think people made comments.
No one made comments. I will tell you, I got one question after the meeting about nominating someone from the floor. I don't know if she plans to, she was just asking.
Could you fill me in, please, very quickly, because I was not at the last board meeting. Where are we?
So we presented the slate, President Larry, first Vice President you, second Vice President J.R. Fruin, Secretary Treasurer Elliot from Campbell, and then past President myself.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that's the slate.
okay. And that was just presented.
So we presented it, no comments, no feedback, no, so we presented the slate, explained what the process would be on November 14th. No questions.
Okay.
I even invited them to let me know offline if they had any concerns. No one shared any concerns with any particular individual.
Okay. And so when she sends her item out, she will say there can be floor nominations made. And at that point, when she's conducting the election,
No,
not omitting your name.
Let's go to Jenny, I just saw Jenny's
Yeah.
hand.
We
Yeah,
can
yeah,
put
go ahead.
together, why don't we just do a short one-page staff report? We can name the people in the slate and say what the process is.
And the process is, if there's nominations from the floor, you pull that name from the slate, you approve the slate, and then you
do that position.
do that position. If that actually happens,
Okay.
which
It-
normally will not.
In that case, do we want to ask the candidates or nominations or whatever you want to call it, to say something?
We
Why?
normally do. So especially if it's challenged.
Yeah.
Then we
Yes.
would give each person a minute or 2 minutes, just to
If
say
there are no
why.
nominations from the floor, depending on how late it is.
It's just like, we need to hear
We
from you,
normally,
Mary.
we normally, that's where things come. It's
Then
like,
you need to put that in the process, in the staff report. That's why I'm
no,
bringing it
it's
up.
up to the time,
Okay,
so,
she can handle it then. Okay, just so you know.
because it's up to, it's up to the chair and, you as far as, well, you have 30 seconds, you have a minute, if that's needed, but.
Wonderful.
And normally it's no nomination from the floor, the slate is approved, the president says thank you, and then we move on to the next. The incoming president says thank you, and then we move on to the next item.
No information is presented for the slate members in the staff report? Just the names, as Jenny pointed out.
You mean your applications?
Yeah, or anything, no need? I'm just asking.
Have we included in the, we got your applications.
We did, and we had 5 applications in the previous meeting.
Yeah.
I guess include them a second time. There's no reason.
Oh, you
there is
had
no-
them, you can ask me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't.
I understand.
Yeah.
No, but it doesn't hurt because there are gonna be
No, but that's
some
fine.
board members, no, to your point, Tina, there are gonna be some board members who say they didn't see it.
Right.
So let's just include the applications again.
Yes.
And can I ask a point of clarification from Mayor Klein? If there is a nomination from the floor, do you remove them from the slate and you take a vote then on the remainder of the slate?
Correct.
Like the
We make a
consent
motion
calendar.
then- We
Okay.
take a motion on the rest of the slate, and then we vote, then we hear from both of the candidates, and then vote on that position. If it happens.
Thank you.
Jen is gonna do the staff report, so let us know what's in there.
Okay.
All right, anything else on the election? Shelley, you're good?
Okay.
Okay. Any public comment online or in the room? Seeing none. Then the next item on the board meeting is, meeting dates, which I know you and Jen are gonna explain.
Yes, yes. So, the second Thursday in January, BTA always has a meeting, and that draws people away from our meeting, so getting quorum is kind of hard. And so in the past, we've moved it to the third Thursday in January. Mayor Klein, as the presumptive board president, I asked him if the third Thursday would work for him. It does work for him. And
Well,
Sorry.
it's the US Conference of Mayors is always that issue.
and we're gonna leave like right after.
There's,
That's my plan.
someone has a meeting.
Las Altas still says Thursdays.
Yeah, third Thursday.
I don't know.
Somebody has a conflict. I can't remember who.
Yeah, Margaret knows that.
So check that. If not, then 4th Thursday, and I know that's late.
Fourth Thursday is the 24th, January. People will be, yeah, we
No,
are.
the 23rd, because the
23rd.
24th is a
Sorry,
Friday.
sorry, my bad, but if people who are in the
The
conference.
mayor's conference, they'll be in Sacramento.
There's
There's no good-
We do the 5th Thursday, because we have 5 Thursdays. We have 5 Thursdays in January.
The day after
My
lunch.
MTC commission seat will open up, and it'd be nice to have somebody elected. And the meeting is usually the last Wednesday of the month. So,
Wait, I'm confused.
So we'd have to have a city selection.
Exactly, that's
meeting.
different, okay.
Which should be on the same day as the board meeting, right? So if you're gonna move it, and that's the other consideration, is you moving it too late, then it's not the end of the world, but it would be nice to have somebody seated. And I don't know if there are other regional boards that have the same changeover.
Not that, the ones that I've spoken to are fine with, we have our meeting on the second Thursday in February. So, but, I mean, it's up to Mayor Klein, because he's also the chair of the city
Yes.
council committee. Meeting, so we could do.
So you're suggesting doing the city selection committee meeting in January with the January board meeting because of the MTC seat? Because you'll be stepped off, you'll be done by then.
Yeah.
But that makes it that much harder for the mayors, because the selection committee's all mayors
Yeah.
or their appointees. And if it's the third Thursday, it's the day before the conference begins, and I'm only able to do that because I do red eyes. I was gonna do a red eye out that night after the meeting.
What's that meeting?
Mayors, US Conference of Mayors,
Oh, in Washington.
yes.
So what we have, so the second Thursday, which we normally have our meetings, is out because of VTA. Third Thursday, that's when you're doing the red eye and possibly Los Altos Hills.
Yeah.
And then the fourth Thursday, what's the issue there?
It's after that.
For Thursdays, somebody's there at in Sacramento.
Is that the 23rd?
Yeah, that's the 23rd.
So then the fifth Thursday, since it's the special,
On the fourth Thursday?
the 23rd.
That's
There's actually 5 Thursdays in January.
What we're saying, but what's the downside, Margaret? I mean, it would be great, I know it'd be great to have representation, but is there some big vote taking place in January that you don't wanna
I
miss?
don't think so, the big vote coming up in December, so I think we'll be okay with it.
And you're there for the December vote?
Yes.
Okay,
That's what I was just gonna ask. When do you?
So mine ends with my term, so it's January 14th.
Your council
Changes.
changes in January because we do December.
so then, I know we would love to have someone, but it sounds like the fifth Thursday may be the best Thursday, and we may just not have someone at that MTC meeting.
Yeah.
When do you do the county supervisor vote ceremony? January? In Jan, not December.
Oh,
Okay.
I haven't looked at it, but if I do, then I'd have to probably, I don't know, resign from
Resign,
the council.
Yeah, we'll have to resign. But at least you're here through covering MTC
In
through
December.
December. I'm checking both ends, like Mountain View and county supervisor.
okay, so Mayor Klein, incoming president, does the fifth Thursday work for you?
Yes, it is.
And then do the city selection committee on that Thursday, or you wanna do it in February?
Yeah, because the next meeting will be in 2 weeks, on the 13th.
I would just do it at that meeting as opposed to wait to February, because the sooner we impanel everyone, and we've now given, if it's the fifth Thursday, every council's met, every council has done their IGRs. It's like the last possible point in January to do that, so, yeah, I'm in favor.
It is so rare to have 5 Thursdays.
I know.
We
And
get
so-
5 Wednesdays and we jump with joy in my city.
And I understand it's conceivably pulling them into a meeting that they weren't expecting. That being said, it actually works out really well for all the other meetings.
They would have only been mayor for a month, so they're still giddy about being a mayor, right?
But a lot of times when we have this meeting, councils are just figuring out their IGRs and everything else, and we're sure at least it's fixed. By that time, every council should be fixed.
The other thing, the yearly assignments thing, you're right. The other benefit I find is this would free up the February meeting from, not having to do city selection that day, because once in a while we get stuck with city selection and LAC. At least that way, assuming JR is the person, he can start introducing LAC February 13th.
I like that. Yep,
That's a huge
and
benefit.
it makes sense to do the first black in February too, so
Right.
it works well.
Yeah, I really like that.
Okay,
So
so we
you
have a
can-
plan. All right, next agenda item, Tina, LAC update, you're the next item on the. Any questions for us?
So, no, I'll just do what we do earlier.
Okay.
Remove the gabfest from the earlier 5:30 meeting. No, we're giving them so much time, they'll be talking about stuff. 20 minutes will be great. It'll be, no, in seriously speaking, it'll be great to be able to present. I have perhaps pushed people's limits in terms of workload this year for the bills and LAC.
Right.
Got great cooperation from everyone, nobody has complained. And so it'll be good to present that to the board with a very positive note at the end of the year that this is what we have done, and even pull the feedback from that 5:30 meeting, because that'll give us time. So fabulous, looking forward to it. Thank you. You're keeping me busy. What about it be next year?
You'll be first, exactly, the first vice president, you're like, I know.
Nothing to do next year. Nothing to do next year.
You're like in the middle, right?
Yeah, this year I've also been SCC board chair. Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday night. Seriously, I have nothing to do next year. I'm gonna enjoy that.
Lots to do. All right. Gabe, managers update.
Through, the Chiefs Association, so, we got updates on, how the cities are preparing for elections, how we would respond to anything we had to respond to, what you can and can't do at a polling place, things like that. So even though voting's been underway now for several weeks, Tuesday is the big day, and all of your police and police chiefs are very well prepared.
Yep, thank you. Anything else?
We're still on the draft board agenda, right?
He just gave his.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you
No,
were.
I knew what you were doing, it's fine, because by November 14th election, it's okay.
I was not gonna say anything, I'm like, yep, executive, perfect, let's go.
I was like, let's just move, let's just go. Okay, no, that's good to know though. Do we, I mean, we're,
You get a place
no. Shally, you're set for your executive director report, anything you're gonna cover in particular?
I thought would it be useful to give everyone kind of an overview of like all the JPA stuff, all of, like, because we've been doing it, not, I wouldn't say piecemeal, but at like different meetings, we've approved different things. And so maybe just to give a good overview of like, everything is done, we have conflicts of interest, we have this, we have that, da, da, da. And, I did go through the training again for the, Form 700 filers. So, I will be reaching out to all the city clerks, like I really need everybody's names who's, coming on board, so that I can enter them into the system, and then everyone can do Form 700 online.
Are you giving the update on the anti-harassment policy in response to Stan Mock's question, or is Jani?
James doing that.
I can answer that since it's not applicable. Oh, it won't take very long.
Okay, but you're gonna do it as part of Shali's, that's where you're gonna put it? You're gonna share it then?
We could check, because I'm giving a total overview of, it's kind of like an end of the year kind of thing, so what we've done to get this JPA in place and compliant, it kind of fits with that.
Okay, thank you.
So I did the same thing, what you just did, because I was also in the November 14th meeting, the LAC update. I'm like, yeah, that's what I will do. So now I'm back to this meeting, LAC update. I did exactly the same thing.
No, it's the reverse. Yeah.
Where are we still?
So
We're
so
around-
now,
we were there.
now
Okay.
I will
So I did it
entertain a
correctly.
motion to approve the LAC and the board meeting, November 14th meeting agendas.
Okay,
Any public comment online or in the room, seeing that?
I did it right. Okay.
Yes.
So who's making the motion?
I make the motion to approve both agendas.
I second this.
Okay, so I will. Okay, no, you're fine. You're fine. And I'm gonna mess things up by going backwards in the agenda. We're gonna have a quick question because I remember something. Anyway, forget about that. Motion to approve the draft LAC and board agendas for the November 14th meetings, by Klein, second by Walia. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
So let's go back to the executive committee, October 30th agenda, and the next three items I think have already been discussed. So I may just do with the attorney's blessing, just a general public comment on items 5, 6, or 7.
You have my blessing.
Thank you. Any public comment in the room on items 5, 6, 7? Seeing none.
I have a question
Oh.
about the holiday party. I'm so sorry. This is
Okay.
last December.
No, go back.
We always have entertainment, which is like a high school group that comes and sings. Would you like us to do that? And if so, we usually pay them, I think, like 500 or 250 or 500 as like a donation to their program.
So you and I can work on the actual holiday party and entertainment, but are you suggesting for purposes of this meeting that we need to increase our budget even more?
So that's what I'm wondering, do we need to bring that as part of the recommendation to the board?
So do we still, to Shawley's point, that's relevant to this discussion, are we still comfortable with just asking to increase it by 2,000?
I think we should be able to cover it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But thanks for that. I wasn't even thinking about the cost of entertainment. I thought it was all kids just showing up and doing it for free. Well, I thought it was for
There, you can donation to the program, quote unquote.
Yeah. I had no idea it was that much, and I actually think they did it for free. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's an opportunity for them to sing and perform.
In front of the whole county.
It's a privilege.
Elected officials.
The folks at MBLA, the madrigals are expensive.
Cause you know, they have to go to Europe every year.
So that's good to know, but we're still good with
But I
it.
think we'll be okay with
They
it.
could have the follies.
That's very
It's
nostalgic.
also follies, they could do.
Great idea. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. That's great idea, Margaret.
You know.
It's an election year. It's something different.
It is, but it's also nostalgic. It's also nostalgic. Oh, Vicky Reader, Rod Sinks, they're there.
That's
I just need to text them and give them the dates.
Maybe
Great idea.
they can do like
Oh,
a,
brilliant idea.
He's retiring, so we could give her something.
like maybe two or three numbers from the show, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll be, well, no, I think we'll talk to them because some of their skits may not play well throughout the county. But we'll talk. Yes, yeah.
Great idea.
We stretch from South County all the way out of there. We don't have to ask twice. Yes, we don't have to, but a donation would be nice. They need. Okay, thank you all. So that's it. And unless any more questions, comments, I'm gonna adjourn our meeting at 6:35 PM. Thank you all. I thought this was a really great meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, Penny.